Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Stellar and XLM. So with that being said, I hope everybody's having a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are out there in the world. As we really kind of look at this space currently speaking, I do believe that there is a storm brewing. Can you guys feel it? I know that there has been a lot of individuals in this space that have been watching a few things and saying, I could just feel what's coming. I could see that these ETFs are getting filed. I could see that the institutional demand is growing. I could see that these institutions are waiting on the sidelines to jump into this space heavy. And as we really kind of look at this space, it has me really focused on a few opportunities, and XLM is definitely one of them. Listen, I don't think that it's a surprise to anyone at this current moment in time that as we look at utility, it seems as though it's starting to shine a little bit brighter right now. We're starting to see discussions around regulations, adoption. How can we implement this technology? How can we tap into it? And that's what gets me very excited about the future for a lot of these coins like XLM, XRP, and you name it, right? Now, with that in mind, as we really kind of look at XLM, I think that there's a very, very interesting thing happening here. One, it does follow XRP very closely in price action. And as you guys have been watching my XRP content, well, you know how bullish XRP actually is right now. With that, XLM does follow through very close, and I do believe that XLM is brewing for a big move. Now, the big thing to me to really kind of watch for on XLM is a break over 20 cents. After we break over 20 cents, I do believe that we will target $1 pretty quickly, and at that time, we will most likely see XRP following a nice little run up to the upside of probably almost $2 at that time as well. But we need to be a little bit patient, right? Because we are still building that sideways momentum. Now, it has been a little bit of time in the market, well over 2,000 plus days since XLM actually did hit a new all-time high, very similar to XRP. But the thing is, and I've been saying this even about XRP, is that if we look at the 1 year time frame on both of these coins, XLM is a little bit different in terms of the pattern that we see on the chart, but it is still very close and similar to XRP. If we look at the 1 year span, both of these coins are actually up a significant percentage. XLM right now is up about 33.5%. I think XRP is up around like 60% or something like that. But if we look here, we could see that we have this nice little breakout to the upside of roughly about 16.5 cents almost. And then we have this downtrend, but sideways momentum. This seems like a little bit of a nice bull flag on the macro on the 1 year chart, waiting to have another major break to the upside, an expansion to the upside. Now, the longer that we do go sideways, which it could be very well into the new year, or it could even just be into next month, the higher that this price will most likely go. Again, you guys already know me, I'm looking at breaking over 20 cents in order for us to start targeting that higher price range of roughly $1. Now, there is a lot of resistance up there at around like roughly 40 cents, almost 50 cents, and we still need to break over the previous high of 2021 in order for us to target $1 plus. But I do think that once XLM does start to move pretty heavy, I think that that's where we will start to see FOMO brewing for XLM, considering the fact that it is on all major tier 1 exchanges, basically, with Coinbase, Binance, you name it. So, very exciting times. I'm interrupting this video just to let you guys know that you can get 40% off right now for the next few days. If you go over to DCENTWallet.com, you can save 40% on cold storage devices. We're talking about the single pack. We're talking about the double pack. You could save upwards of $128 right now. So what are you waiting for? Go get your cold storage device and make sure that you are safe this next bull run. Remember, protect yourself, protect your wealth. Now let's get back to the video. Now, outside of this, we also got a little bit more of an insight into what Stellar is actually focused on currently. And talking about, again, adoption, regulations, things like that. Well, check this out. So, SCF's head of policy, Leslie Chavkin, was at the forefront of discussions on securing the U.S. financial system from illicit cryptocurrencies and building a modern AML, anti-money laundering, CFT framework. Now, this is regarding exploring central bank digital currencies, evaluating challenges in developing international standards. Now, what's interesting about this is the individuals that are tied into Stellar and even tied into Ripple with XRP. Again, they are in discussions with very high tier individuals. And as we really kind of look at Stellar, it seems as though Stellar has been working closely on a few major endeavors within the US, specifically regarding a digital dollar and things like that. For an example, the digital dollar project was actually at this meeting. And also remember that the digital dollar does have exposure and connections back to even Ripple, but it's definitely interesting. And we also know that Stellar has been heavily focused on CBDCs as well. It's not just Ripple. We know that Stellar has this white paper for Stellar for CBDCs, which again goes in depth on what's happening right now around blockchain and the infrastructure layer around the financial system. For example, currencies issued by sovereign states remain important financial instruments, and issuing them on a blockchain has positive implications for the global monetary system. Meaning, guess what? When we really kind of look at the future monetary system, it could very well be built upon blockchain rails, especially if it does have a very positive efficiency status for tapping in to, again, the blockchain systems. So as we really kind of look at this, I do believe that we are starting to see the moves being made in order for us to actually have the global monetary system being built out upon the blockchain. And I think that when we look at some of the most efficient ones out there, Stellar definitely comes up in question. So does, even the XRP Ledger, for example. But again, it's the instruments, the financial instruments that will be issued out on these blockchains. The global monetary system itself won't be on the blockchain, but the crucial things that allow the global monetary system to work will be. More so CBDCs, stablecoins, things like that. So this is definitely interesting. And again, this does go in depth on everything regarding CBDCs, why Stellar is a perfect fit for it. They even said the Stellar network was built precisely with this use case in mind, allow trusted issuers to create digital representations of their assets. And so was the XRP Ledger, right? But beyond this, we also got a little bit more of an in-depth view on what the Stellar team is focused on. This is actually from Atlantic Council, actually. They put out this statement regarding, we recently built an open source tool that allows you to upload thousands of payments at once. This is from Danielle Dixon, of course, the CEO and executive director at Stellar Development Foundation. And this is the UNHCR, who is leveraging this tool right now in aid distribution in Ukraine over the Stellar org. And we have from Danielle, we did, and it's called the Stellar Disbursement Platform. Thanks for having me. And again, this is another spotlighted real world application use case that is disrupting the status quo, currently speaking. But I'm going to play this video, listen closely, and then we will talk about a few things as well.
How does open source infrastructure interplay with, what Stellar is doing day to day?
Stellar is an open source decentralized blockchain network. Not only is the network itself open source, but any kinds of tools that are leveraged that certainly are built within our community and our ecosystem, we're also open source. We just recently built an open source tool, and it was at open source 2 months ago, that is about bulk uploading of bulk payments, so that you can upload thousands of payments at one time, and then you can have that be interplay with a wallet that's Stellar enabled, and then you can actually make payments at scale. And the UNHCR, the United Nations High Commission on Refugees, is actually leveraging this tool right now in aid distribution in Ukraine. So over the Stellar network, using a digital asset that's built on top of Stellar, so built on open source code, and then distributed into Ukraine, and then the users who receive the aid within 3 seconds, they literally can download the wallet, they get a text message, download the wallet, receive it within 3 minutes. They can have that whole process done. You can then cash out at one of the most traditional financial infrastructure companies in the world. It's a 100-year-old MoneyGram. So the thing that's beautiful about this is you can see how this open source code that is just this network that's out there for anyone to build on and to make better. I'm a big, big believer in open source and the usefulness of it. Can interplay very nicely and interoperate with the most traditional financial infrastructure. And so it's actually being leveraged every day.
So there you guys have it. And again, this is a spotlighted use case. And however you want to, discuss this use case, it shows you that the world is essentially opening its arms to blockchain now. They're realizing that this has tremendous benefits, tremendous opportunities as well to be realized in. And this is only one of the big areas that Stellar has been focused on, which is again like why I say, as we do start to see the storm brew behind institutional grade adoption and them tapping into these blockchains, they will want to see examples of real world applications, what this blockchain technology truly can accomplish and what it's already doing. And that's why Stellar, and that's even why Ripple and a lot of these other great companies within the space that have been pioneering blockchain-based solutions and crypto solutions, they're truly the pioneers around this technology. They are the ones, the gatekeepers essentially, that will open the gates to mass adoption because they have the experience. They already have the proof that, listen, if you actually utilize this type of technology, you can achieve greatness. And again, this is just one of the great examples of Stellar being leveraged. But also, do you guys remember Franklin Templeton? Yeah, they are a big player. Just recently, they actually filed for a Bitcoin ETF, and it seems as though this has been really kind of starting to heat up. Just recently, the SEC kicks off comment period for planned Franklin Templeton Bitcoin ETF. Remember, this is a large name, and this is a big player. But what's interesting about this is I do believe that they are at the forefront of some pretty big blockchain endeavors. And one of them is obviously with Stellar. Franklin Templeton announces the Franklin On-Chain U.S. Government Money Fund surpasses $270 million in assets under management. And this is, of course, utilizing the Stellar blockchain network for transactional activity. But remember, right, that money market funds are a massive opportunity. And this is tokenization at, again, a crucial time in the market where tokenization is now being talked about, and it's even being leveraged and it's being pioneered as the next generation technology regarding even equities, for an example. But again, asset tokenization is a growing trend. It's becoming a much larger trend, and it's probably one of blockchain's most incredible use cases currently speaking. But the reason why I bring this up is because money market funds are huge. In fact, money market funds, currently speaking right now, hold about roughly almost $6 trillion in them. So as we look at $270 million in assets under management, which I think now is over $300 million because this was back in April, this is just a droplet of water in a bucket. So imagine how much more money will flow into these tokenized endeavors in the future, especially something as large as this one. And remember, like, this is a U.S. government money fund. So this is a pretty big deal. Now, outside of this as well, I do also want to take you to what the president and the CEO at Franklin Templeton just recently talked about. Shout out to Subjective Views for this, touching on the huge opportunity of blockchains from an infrastructure standpoint. Check this out.
Turning back, Jenny, to you around the use of tokenization, blockchain, you've been using that quite a bit. And how do you see that affecting the asset management industry?
Well, first of all, I couldn't agree more with Jane on 2 points. One is
that's a first.
One is that from an infrastructure standpoint, huge opportunity, and I think we all recognize it over time as these various projects come together. There's going to be great cost efficiencies in the system. And two, the work that's done with HKMA and in Hong Kong here on the regulatory front, we're following it all over the world, and you've been real leaders because you've been willing to come out with very clear guidance on that. So that's great. So Franklin Templeton got involved in blockchain. Early on, the first thing we did was decide we wanted to do a tokenized money market fund. And so we built a shareholder servicing system on chain, and then we actually worked with the SEC. So it's an approved, regulated money market fund. And in that process, we saw a couple things. So, as well as a hot cold storage wallet. So it gave us some good insights into how the cost, because we ran 4 of our own transfer agency systems historically, and we were astonished even ourselves to figure out how much less expensive it was to run it on chain. And then 2, we ended up, you had to hold coins because you need to be able to pay for the transaction. So this is a public chain money market system. So transactions are on a public chain. Obviously, the shareholders' information is on our private chain. And so as we then started to hold, we did on the Stellar network, Lumens, we started to recognize, wow, if you hold these, it's interesting. As a node validator, you're learning a lot of information about what's going on. So today, we actually validate 5 different chains. And for those who completely think about dismissing this, I just want to say that the Ethereum network, if it were a public company, hit $10 billion in revenue at about the same pace as Google and Facebook hit 10 billion in revenue faster than Microsoft, Workday, and Salesforce. So whether you can get comfortable with the Ethereum coin as revenue, there's something very real here. And so as we looked at that, we then built kind of active management strategies around that. So we actually have a team. If you read the write-ups that our team will do, I think there's 30 coins that we feel very, very comfortable with. It would be as detailed, as a matter of fact, they came out of our fixed income group. It would be as detailed as any write-up that we have anywhere in our equity or fixed income world. And then what gets us really excited is that what Jane was talking about is just the efficiency of this. So if you think about blockchain, it does three things, right? So number one, it has a smart contract. So it's the ability to just execute a contract without anybody getting involved, no title company to prove that ownership or anything. Number two, it has a payment mechanism. And number three, because it's a general ledger, you don't have to validate that the rights of whoever owns it has all the rights to the contract, right? So it takes a lot of the friction out of transactions. And if you can do that, you can actually fractionalize transactions more. So my favorite example, to bring this home, is Rihanna, the singer, who came up and issued 300 NFTs, each one with the right to 0.00033% royalty of one of her biggest songs. Well, why can she do that? Because when the streaming service plays her song, the smart contract can kick off, and those fractions of pennies or fractions of, of whatever the payment is, comes in and then comes right into whoever owns that in the wallet. So you can imagine that there are going to be the ability, blockchain's going to unlock uncorrelated, untraditional types of investment capabilities that people, and you're already seeing it, I won't spend any more time, but you're already starting to see those, that will be uncorrelated to the rest of your portfolio, which as an asset manager is really interesting to us.
So there you guys have it. And again, like as we really kind of look at some of these companies like Franklin Templeton that are talking about blockchain in this way, talking about the future around funds opportunities and tokenization opportunities, like this is what gets me very excited about the future, especially when we do talk about utility. Utility gets overlooked so heavily in this space. And I think that, a lot of people don't realize that, it's all starting right now. Like everything that we have been talking about, everything that we have been addressing and, discussing for years now, it's finally coming to realization. And if it happened in, just like the last couple years, imagine what's going to happen over the course of the next couple months and possibly even years. Remember, once things start to happen, tokenization as a service, custody services, things like that, once these things start happening, all of a sudden, it becomes accelerated. Everything starts to move much faster than we ever thought imaginable. That's why, like, as we really kind of wait for the big moves to happen, more so like price-wise, right? I'm really kind of looking at the underlying moves being taken by these major players like Franklin Templeton or even BlackRock, for an example. And I just question, like, once something like this goes live, how many others are going to take the stand and say, all right, yeah, we need to do this right now. Because we can't stand to be, sidelined or anything like that by these other companies. So it's a competitive game. They're all going to want to tap in. And that's what we are waiting for. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Peace out.